India's #1 news network. And you're watching News 9, English news as it should be.
We're in conversation with Mr. Charanjot Singh Nanda, President of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Mr. Nanda, thank you so much for speaking to the TV9 network.
Thanks for inviting us. Thank you.
Great. Now, I'm going to begin by asking a very simple question. Not many people understand this, but the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and Chartered Accountants per se do an important role in nation building, isn't it?
It's a fact. I'll tell you, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India was set up an Act of Parliament way back on 1st July 1949. When the most important document of the democracy, the Constitution, was not adopted. You'll be aware that the Constitution to this great country was promulgated on 26 January 1950. The pertinent question that arises is, what prompted the Constituent Assembly to set up an Institute of Chartered Accountants of India when its own democratic setup was not in place? The answer is very candid, very simple, very forthcoming. They were looking for a disciplined band of soldiers who could steer this country out of confusion and put it on the path of perpetual growth. And there we are. APJ Abdul Kalam very rightly said, Chartered accountants are partner in nation building. So we are, in fact, working for the nation, truly working for the nation. You see, the collections in GST income tax are soaring. It is because of our brothers and sisters who work round the clock to ensure that the SSC feels it right to pay the taxes. We keep them explaining why taxes have to be paid. It is in their safety and in the progress of the country. So we are truly partners in nation building.
Right. And even until, say, a couple of decades ago, chartered accountants essentially went on to become the chief financial officers or CFOs of company. But we today live in a day and age where, so many CEOs themselves were originally chartered accountants. So chartered accountants are now going on to lead companies and multinational corporations, isn't it?
They are very robust. The training which we take, earlier in my times it was 3 years, now it is 2 years. The level of indulgence we have ultimately trains us in all aspects. CFO is a small thing. Chief Risk Officer, Chief Operating Officer, Chief Executive Officer, on the board of independent companies, on the board as independent directors, you will see chartered accountants everywhere and they'll perform at the highest level. The reason is discipline coupled with proper training and knowledge on technical subjects. So we have been working incessantly to ensure that we add value to our members so that they are able to effectively come and contribute to the corporate world.
Talk to us in that sense, where are the new sectors? There are so many new emerging sectors where, chartered accountants are becoming the mainstay, when it comes to leading those companies.
So many. MSME startup is one. I'll give one more important information to you. Number of people think chartered accountants do not speak or do not know much about technology. We are the pioneers in technology. May it be artificial intelligence, may it be blockchain, may it be Internet of Things, may it be data analytics, may it be cyber audits, may it be information system audits. Chartered accountants lead the nation in their technology perspective. We do a lot of outsourcing work. You are aware that India now has turned into a back office of the entire world. So chartered accountants are multi-dimensional practitioners, versatile, robust, resilient, who could go ahead and take the reins of any business and flourish it to unprecedented heights.
Right. Talk to us also, we are looking at a time where things are evolving so much, technology is evolving so much. With AI growing at this pace, so many people worry about how AI is taking up jobs. But talk to us, how is the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, integrating AI as part of its curriculum, and also ensuring that, the people who are taking up the course are industry ready, and more importantly, is there a threat because of AI to the job of the chartered accountants?
I'll answer the second question first. Please understand, when you start admiring artificial intelligence, you have to adore the original intelligence that created that artificial intelligence. No dearth of jobs for chartered accountants. We drive AI. We are people who ultimately, I'll give an example. Our institute on 1st July 2024 announced a certificate course on artificial intelligence. Till 11th February 2025, 12,500 chartered accountants had done that. we drive the industry, we make things easier, we use artificial intelligence and technology to ensure that work is finished on time, number one. Number two, there are no errors. It is error free. And number three, very, very important, they work and they bring out information which is vital for the growth of the company or organization, as the case may be. So I want to tell you, chartered accountants are very much conversant with technology. They use it for every initiative of theirs. We are very keen to cut down the jobs with terms to monotonous jobs and turn those people into decision making, into contribution by way of their knowledge which they have acquired by their training and technical knowledge and expertise over the years.
Okay. Also now then talk to us about the new Income Tax Act. Is so much of awareness about income tax these days and the importance of the jobs of the chartered accountants. And in that context comes the new Income Tax Act, which promises to simplify the Income Tax Act to the point where it is not only understood by the professionals, as in the chartered accountants, but the common people can understand it. Tell us how will it change the lives of both the chartered accountants and the people?
I'll tell you, it is the income tax bill, and ICAI has been pioneer in driving it. We have three initiatives. First, to prune down unnecessary sections. There are close to 553 sections. We want to bring down them to close to 470 sections. Number two, simplify, no jargons. Let an ordinary man who reads it is able to assimilate and use it for his initiatives. And third, very important thing, to interpret the entire thing. Problems of interpretation lead to more than 70% litigation. So once everything is clearly interpreted, litigation will run off. The government, first of all, CBDT asked us for our people. We gave them 5 chartered accountants from our council. Then we set up study groups all across the 5 regions. We have 5 regions: North, South, East, West and Central. And we made 2 in different. We made one in Pune and other in Indore. So 7 study groups were set up and close to 60 people were enrolled. And we were the first to be called by the Select Parliament Committee to make a presentation. On 6 March 2025, we made a presentation, and till now, we are giving them analysis of the entire Act, plus any area where we could be of assistance to them. So ICAI is very cognizant of the fact that it has to add value, it has to work as a very important constituent of the nation and educate and make aware public of the new Income Tax Act.
If I can ask you, the new Income Tax Act also speaks about, in case there is a suspicion over somebody evading tax, then the authorities have the right to, have the powers to get into their emails and their social media accounts and their digital wallets if need be. I know your thoughts on that.
It is easier said than done. You can't just jump into the privacy. Yes, if you find that a person is evading tax, he's turning money into a different source, then they'll jump in. It is not something which is very rampant in your and my account, but they see a person is a perpetual evader. They find that his acts are suspicious. Then also it has to be done through a very senior officer. His permission is granted, and then they can only jump into the privacy. I understand it's a matter of concern for the citizens, but don't worry. It is only for those cases where you find that certain alarming things have happened. Normally, your life will move as it is moving on now.
Okay, fair enough. That's as far as income tax is concerned. Let's talk about GST. Every time there's a GST council meeting, there's lots of expectations and hopes that, there'll be a rationalization of slabs, there'll be more uniformity in terms of the nature of goods and services taxed at whichever level. Sometimes you find there's a huge disparity in the way different goods and services are taxed under the GST regime. Your thoughts on what direction should the GST reforms take?
When I think of GST, I'm reminded of a couplet which says, अपने हौसलों को खबर करते रहो, अपने हौसलों को खबर करते रहो, जिंदगी मंजिल नहीं सफर है चलते रहो. GST has to change, and the best part common between ICAI and GST is that both of us were born on 1st July. When GST was born, the Honorable Prime Minister was with us in IG Stadium. Chartered accountants did their every initiative to ensure that GST sees the light of the day, and even today, maximum practitioners are chartered accountants, and they give very, very viable suggestions to the GST Council. See, Council also has to receive the suggestions, put them into perspective, and then again roll them back to the system. So this is done by the GST Council. They are see, abreast with so many changes. Some are reasonable, some are non-reasonable. So they have to have a council meeting and then take a call what has to be rolled out. And therefore, let us not be very worried about the council decisions. They will take whatever decision is in the benefit of the nation at large. Or somewhere where they feel that certain taxpayers are unnecessarily being harassed, they will try to bend that issue. So this will continue. It will see. Now people have become used to having, earlier they thought now it is come, every time it is coming, but it will perpetually come to ease out the systems and add to the ease of doing business initiative of the government.
Okay. Now that we're talking about taxing and let's also talk about tax filing. We're soon going to be, in the thick of tax filing season, and everybody will be, so many of them are going to be scrambling around last minute to ensure their taxes are filed. Your message to all the, those who are looking to file their income taxes this year?
So my message to them is, understand the law. Understand the area where it goes. Some people want to leave putting the stock market transactions. They want to leave their transaction in cryptocurrencies. They don't want to take into cognizance the interest which they earn. So each and everything now with AI, you'll be happy to know that Income Department is also using AI. So every of your penny earned can be traced. So it is better. It is in your interest and interest of the nation that you disclose all your incomes. If you feel it is difficult, employ a professional. But for God's sake, don't enter into unnecessary litigation that will spoil your peace of mind and put you to unnecessary losses with respect to interest and penalties.
As far as the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India goes, it has integrity and excellence and independence as its motto, isn't it? Talk to us about that.
Sir, chartered accountants are bound to perform. They are bound to lend excellence to whatever initiative they do. They have to be independent. They are not to be influenced by anybody. So whatever are our mottos are set up by our forefathers and forebearers. And the basic purpose is to ensure whatever the age be of a chartered accountant, once he does his chartered accountancy, he receives the same respect. He has the same technical qualification which he can use in furtherance of the jobs assigned to him. So in my opinion, every chartered accountant has to be deeply involved with ethical issues, deeply involved with respect to the prestige of the institute, because we feel that every CA member, every CA student is a brand ambassador of this institute, which is the largest accounting body of the world. We know over 450,000 chartered accountants and 10 lakh students. So that mechanism is very strong, and we drive because of that mechanism.
So many changes as far as global accounting standards are concerned and technology is concerned. How is the chartered accountancy curriculum keeping up with all of that?
We, after 5 years, change our entire curriculum and make it in sync with the contemporary business practices, make it in sync with the contemporary industry practices. So you speak about derivatives, you speak about case laws, you speak about direct, indirect tax, IFRS, Ind AS, international gaps. We are masters of all. So the moment we see a particular issue is getting up, some issue is cooking or something is in making, we train our students. So in a circle of 5 years, we revise the entire syllabus and train our chartered accountants to add value to the industry.
But the moment you say CA or chartered accountancy, the first thing that comes to everybody's mind is how difficult it is to pass the exam, isn't it? Final exam. It's so difficult to pass. The percentage of pass outs is so minimal. Right now, what about of those who take the exams, what 12 to 15% of them pass?
20, maximum 20%.
Maximum 20%, isn't it? But that's considerably high. That's considerably high compared to what it was say
yes,
20 years ago.
when I qualified, close to 2-3%. An exam is always an exam. Christ once said, "Oh Lord, do not put me to test." So whenever you have to write a test, whether easy or difficult, you are always tense. But a chartered accountant writing a test and becoming a chartered accountant is fantabulous. It's splendid. It's great.
Just one last thing. Talk to us about the way forward as far as the profession of chartered accountancy is concerned. What do you see are the big changes that you're expecting?
Sky is our limit. Technology. We have a committee called DAB, Digital Accounting and Assurance Board. We are the first in the world to come out with 23 forensic standards. We are the first in the world. We were the first in the world to come out with guidance on remote auditing. Way back on 30th March 2020 when COVID had barely come in. We want to change with technology. We want to do fraud and fact-finding forensic issues. We do that. We are very keen to combat fraud and forensics. We are very keen to do conversion of Indian gap with US gap, with UK gap, with German gap, with France gap. We are very keen on, you can call, outsourcing work. India has become the hub of the entire outsourcing work.
For accountancy.
For accountancy, not for taxation also, for system audits also, for recruitments also. Indians are known for their responsibility. And as chartered accountants, we drive them with excellence to perform and to bring the valuable foreign exchange for us. The Institute of Chartered Accountants is totally pledged to ensure that we work in tandem with the best practices internationally to ensure that our country, our motherland India, transforms into a developed country.
Chandrajit Singh Nanda, thank you so much for taking
Thank you so much.
TV9.
Let's be in touch. Thank you.
Yes, please do. We're in conversation with Mr. Prasanna Kumar, Vice President of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Mr. Prasanna Kumar, thank you so much for speaking to the TV9 network. I'm going to begin by asking you a very simple question. Studying chartered accountancy is not a very expensive proposition, is it? Are you also giving any scholarships as well?
Yeah. See, when you compare the fee structure with any other course, I'm not belittling any course, any other course. So, it is very economical. Because the distance learning education, the model we have, so whereby the entire fees for, there are 5-6 courses we have. One is foundation, which is the entrance examination. The second one is intermediate examination and intermediate course. The third one is final course. In between, we've got a specialized program for orientation courses there, and there's the information technology course. Then advanced information technology course, and the general communication management skills. These are specialized courses. All put together, the entire fees is rupees 77,000. This is what the fee structure is. And you are all aware that nowadays, given the cost of education in the country, this is most economical one. And also, you also put another question that, the scholarship scheme is there. Before scholarship, something else I have to share with you. The moment a student qualifies intermediate, he will join the practical training. As per present system, the 2 years of practical training is there. When he undergoes the practical training, they are paid stipend also. Depending on the population, So for up to 5 lakhs population, 5 to 10 lakhs, there over 3 slabs are there. So where we give the stipend also to them. This is one thing. The stipend, the total stipend he gets is much more than the 77,000 they pay as a fees. Point number one. If there is a student whose family income is not exceeding rupees 3 lakhs, 3 lakhs is the limit. That the income need to be certified by only a chartered accountant. If he gives a certificate, he makes an online application. We've got a scheme that, for economically needy, so we call them economically needy students, we give them, at present we are giving 1,500 rupees per month for the entire this period. And a new, already there's a proposal to increase it to 2,500. It is pending at one particular stage. One that is passed, they'll be getting 30,000 rupees per annum. And during the articleship period, they will get. And before that, while they are undergoing intermediate course also, they are eligible. If you see the scholarship scheme of the Institute of Chartered of India, for a distance education, I don't think any government or any agency is giving a scholarship to them at all. In ICAI is special that in a distance education also we are giving a scholarship to them. So any student, irrespective of the economic status of the student, so they can come and join this course. The moment you pass, the bright future for them.
Fantastic. The moment you say chartered accountants, at least for most of the people watching this conversation, the first thing that they think of is, that's the person that I need to speak to, come the day I have to file my taxes for the year. The Income Tax Act is what I'm arriving at. There's a new Income Tax Act. Talk to us, from your perspective, how does it change the lives of chartered accountants and the people?
Yeah, this is a very good question. See, the new Income Tax Act is not coming. This is only amendment to the present Income Tax Act.
Okay.
The Income Tax 1962 will continue, but the government is simplifying the entire act in such a way, even a common person should be able to understand that act.
Yeah.
So now the income tax, with so many amendments that has taken over a period of so many decades, it has become a little complicated. If you want to really understand the Income Tax Act, you have to be a chartered accountant, number one, or some professional. Otherwise, it's not that easy to understand. So the plain reading will not help you at all. The government took up an initiative that we wanted to simplify the entire act, number one. Number two, the present exercise which is going on, which is before the Lok Sabha is, that they wanted to all the redundant sections. So they have to remove. So there is a confusing thing, the redundant section. Third one is, wherever there's some ambiguity is there, so that the ambiguity should be removed so that litigation comes down. It should be litigation-free, exercise they are doing that now. That one. The Institute of Chartered of India, in fact, the select committee of the Lok Sabha, They gave us an opportunity to present a presentation about the new income tax bill which is there before the Lok Sabha, and we made a presentation, we gave a suggestion. They came up with around 480, 500 odd clauses they came up. We are trying to reduce it by another 89. We are given a presentation to them. In fact, it's appreciated. I think it's before select committee now. That's all.
You were talking about technology, the advancement of technology to the point where it's, especially artificial intelligence, to the point where everybody's jobs are at stake because, AI can come and do your job. Accounting too, has moved to the digital platform decades ago, actually, if you are to be honest. And now it's at such an advanced stage right now. Do you think, tell us how the profession is changing and evolving? How are chartered accountants using AI? And more importantly, is AI threatening the job of the chartered accountant?
Yeah, it's also a very good question. See, technological development, whenever they came in the 1990s and 2000, and the last 4 decades, it has been happening. Every time something comes through, they say there will not be job for the accountants at all. But the job market is increasing day by day. It goes to indicate what, suppose AI is there. Suppose earlier we used to conduct an audit which has 1 lakh transactions. Now the business dimensions have gone up. Now the 1 lakh transactions become 10 lakh transactions. So now to do that one, I have to deploy so many people. That's not possible at all given the cost today. So the AI will come to our rescue, and that repetitive nature, whatever is there, AI helps us to do that. So that whatever the human resource that deploy now, that will not go down at all. We may need more. But speed of doing the work and accuracy which we think we can do is the one the IA is going to help us. And we are equipping all our chartered accountants. We have got a course, a 3 days course is there for them. You will not believe there is a waiting list for this. In spite of more than 20,000 got trained there, we are aiming to train 1 lakh chartered accountants by end of this year. That's what is going on. So it's not a threat to not only chartered accountants but entire accounting, even accountants also. The shortage is still there in this country.
And as far as the professional chartered accountant is concerned, there is always, apart from technology, the other big topic of discussion is ethics. So talk to us in terms of that. Actually, your thoughts on, especially in the post demonetization world that we live in. Lots of questions on, the ethics of the profession per se.
Yeah. See, ethics, though I don't want to talk about other professions, as far as chartered accountancy profession is concerned, the highest ethical profession is there, this chartered accountancy. Because we've got such a, I don't say that by birth itself somebody becomes ethical. And by virtue of law, the implementation of law and the punishment that you have, those things that become as deterrence to see that you are not unethical. So that's the way, chartered accountant, if even a chartered accountant commits a small mistake anywhere, he has got threat. Anybody can come to the institute and we initiate action. We don't, even the information we take it. That is the way we work. So we don't spare any chartered accountant. We ultimately the aim is, there are 3 things. One is, whatever the chartered accountant signs there, they cannot alternate to that. That is ultimate. That's the thing. And our profession always goes on ethics and quality. These are the buzzwords for the entire profession. So ethics is embedded because we are auditors ourselves. Who is there above us? Nobody else. We are the ultimate. So we have to be ethical. Otherwise we cannot perform. That's why the profession is already 75 years plus. They have traveled together. Since 1949 till today, the glory of the profession is going up every day by day. It means that we are ethically sound.
Yeah. Yeah, they traditionally they used to say, never lie to your doctor or your lawyer. But in the modern day world, don't lie to your doctor, lawyer, or your chartered accountant.
Correct. 100% I agree with you. If you lie, who is going to be the loser? You are going to be the loser. Like if you lie before the advocate or the doctor, same thing. Chartered accountant is the one who always pray my client should prosper. He always pray society should prosper. You always pray the country and the universe should prosper because our prosperity is in the prosperity of the society.
We soon, we will be arriving at the threshold of the tax filing season. Tell us, if you can give us, some the message to the people watching this, what should they be doing? Because there is still we have the new tax regime and the old tax regime as of this financial year. So, talk to us in terms of how people should, prepare themselves for the assessment this year.
Yeah. See, I'm not talking about this year per se, but general perception I'm telling you, there are days when people used to think that, how to reduce the tax, how to hide this one, that one, that is a thought process. I'm not blaming anybody. It depends on the situation, but today, thought process changed. The mind of the people say, I want to be tax compliant. When they come to us, they say, these are the transactions we've done. You tell me what is the tax liability. They never come and ask us how to reduce the tax liability. So they have been honest. Because there are two reasons for that. One is government has got a machinery. Even if you leave something, government has a machinery, they find out that. So always a threat should be there so that it acts as a deterrent. That's the reason why 100% people come to us and we advise them to pay the taxes due and we will work out whatever they do. Tax planning is permitted, but tax evasion is not there. I advise the people to be honest. They are honest today. That is the reason why there's so much collections are there. You see the last one or two decades, the direct tax collections are beyond the budgeted figures. They budget very high figure, but ultimately they cross the budget, exceed the budget also. That is show the honesty of the people, and government believes in people also. And that's the reason the simplification will further enhance the tax compliance.
All right, Mr. Pesnakar, we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for speaking to us here on News.
Thank you so much. Very nice. Thank you.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News 9, English news as it should be.